You know, I've really yet to meet anyone who didn't want to learn another language. And so what I've done is I've created this 10-week journey. It's an email series to really walk people into learning another language, because while I've never met anyone who didn't think learning another language was a good idea, nearly everyone I've met has no idea where to begin. You know, they've really been raised in a culture of, languages are what experts teach. We get it at school. We can sign up for expensive programs, but for people to just feel like I can do this on my own is something that's it's pretty out there. And so the 10-week journey, while it definitely walks people into the language they're learning, and by the end of the 10 weeks, the goal is that they will have a good foundation in French or German or Japanese or Chinese or whatever the language. But the real thrust and the real goal of the journey is to empower people, it's to entool people, to give them the tools and the understanding of just how they can go out and learn the language on their own, and to really help create in them a sense of autonomy, of self-direction, and the ability to understand at the end of the 10 weeks, to understand that they can continue on, that they can learn it on their own, with the resources that are around them, that are free on the internet, or that are just available everywhere in this day and age. And so the journey is really about that. It's about getting people started learning another language and bringing them to a place where they feel confident that they can continue on their own and that they can be successful language learners. The 10-week journey is an email series. So when you go to the website, the Everyday Language Learner, and you go to the 10-week journey site, there's an opt-in form. So you're going to fill that form out, submit it, and then what I use is a program called MailChimp that is an email service that then kicks into kind of an automatic response system. And so the day after you sign up, you'll receive a welcome email. The day after that, you'll receive the first of the actual 10-week journey email series. And then every 7 days you'll receive another email. Now each email is going to have a few pieces to it. It's going to have a welcome. It's going to have a little bit of a section where I write about kind of the paradigm shift that I'm wanting you to make from a teacher-directed to a self-directed mindset. And then each email is going to have an action step. It's going to ask you to do something. And these action steps are intended to get you introduced to both great new tools as well as new ways of thinking about language learning. Each email concludes with a roundup of the tasks that I've asked you to do and the previous week's tasks and the jobs that you're going to want to kind of continue to keep doing, as well as a section of articles that you can look to. I call it further reading, and they're articles and blog posts by others who've written about language learning, and those are really there to give you inspiration, to give you motivation, and to give you great new ideas. And so I do encourage people to look at those, because there's some really great stuff that people are writing out there. So that'll happen. It'll kick in, and you'll get an email every week, and a job to do. So that's kind of how the 10-week journey works. You know, people often ask me, like, what language do you teach? And I just have to say, I don't teach any language, and the 10-week journey really isn't about any particular language. It's about helping you learn how to learn language and connecting you to all the resources that are out on the internet for whatever language you're wanting to learn. And so now, in the first 50 or so people who've gone through the 10-week journey, I think it's probably 13 or 15 different languages. The most are from kind of the core languages that, if you said the 10 most popular languages people are going to learn, there's Russian, Spanish, French, Italian. But really, I want to help anybody learn any language, and the 10-week journey can do that. So it doesn't matter what language you're wanting to learn. No. I came across a quote once that sums up in a lot of ways what the 10-week journey is all about. And the quote said this. It said, "If you're interested, you'll do what is convenient. If you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. And I think that's really the reality for the vast majority of people out there who think it's a good idea to learn another language, but they don't know where to begin. They're willing to do what's convenient. And so my goal with the 10-week journey is to give people convenient steps to begin to walk into commitment. That nobody's born committed. We can grow our commitment though. And so the 10-week journey is really about giving people a convenient way to get started, and hopefully by the end of the 10 weeks they're kind of sold out crazies for learning another language or something like that. If people want to sign up for the 10-week journey, they just need to go to my website, The Everyday Language Learner. It's www.everydaylanguagelearner.com. And on that site, in the top right corner is a box that says the 10-week journey, get started, don't stop. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the 10-week journey page where you can read a bit more about the journey. And then at that page, there's a sign-up form. And you just fill that out, hit send, and you're good to go. It's that simple. So, yeah, I would encourage anyone who's interested in learning another language to stop by and at least give it a try. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like it. So. It's free for everyone to use. It doesn't cost anything. I really want to encourage as many people as possible to get started learning another language. And yeah, so come on by. It's not going to cost you anything.